Hi there, I'm Terry McEwen and I will be your instructor for the ALTC 802 Planning for Instruction course. For those of you that had me last semester for 804, welcome back. For those of you who I have not met yet, welcome, and I look forward to working with you this semester. I'd like to give you a quick little tour through the 802 course shell because it is a little bit different from last fall's course shell. You'll notice on your landing page there is a home page, and you will see there, if there's announcements, you'll see those posted. I will do announcements at a minimum of once a week, more often if things come up. Then my instructor information is on the left-hand menu. The syllabus and the due dates are next. I think it's important to note a couple of things about the due dates. Unlike the syllabus is here, by the way, you just link to it and it's a Word document. Unlike last semester, where the due dates are pretty much going to flow together. So last semester, you remember discussion was due week 1, assignment week 2. This time we're just giving you the full 2 weeks to do both the discussion and the assignment. Notice also that there is a discussion in the introduction to the course, which I will point out when I get to the course modules. There's also no discussion for Module 5 when you get there because of the fact that this module only is a week long. Our dates kind of got a little wonky because of where spring break falls, etc. So there will be no discussion for Module 5. So anyway, look at those dates. You'll see how it all kind of works together. The next will be then your learning modules. And they're a little differently laid out than they were in the fall. In the fall, you remember there was a separate a link for every one of the modules. So you saw module 1, etc. This time they're all just underneath learning modules, 0 through 7. 0 is just a reflection. It's just a way of kind of getting reacquainted, going back and looking at why you teach, why this particular plan for your career, what's most surprising to you, what was your greatest challenge, etc. So you can look at that. That's really just an open-ended discussion. There's no right or wrong answer. Obviously, it's just something to kind of get reacquainted and for me to meet those of you that I don't know. Then notice that Module 1 begins with methods of instructional planning at different scales, and you can see what the learning goals are there. Every time it'll tell you this module requires, and then you'll see what it requires: reading, reflection, lesson planning, and discussion. So you can kind of plan with that. I will do an introductory video to each individual module just to make sure everybody is comfortable with what is going on. The next will be then a lesson planning with effective instructional practices. Module 3 is questioning strategies. Module 4 is a planned assessment. Module 5, which again does not have a discussion with it, only has a week to complete that assignment, so make sure that you note that, is about technology. Module 6, planning for personalized learning. And then Module 7 is planning the learning environment. We've tweaked a lot of these modules as we're approaching a kind of brave new world of some of you are in hybrid situations, some of you are strictly online, some of you are strictly in person. So we've tried to make everything match up as best we can and give you some options. Speaking of options, let's talk about the discussions for just a moment, because every one of the every one of the modules has a except for 5, has a discussion question, and then of course your assignment and application piece. Again, notice that there are options in the assignment. Trying to practice what we preach there about giving students options. But except for Module 0, which is the one about reflection on the past and kind of what you're doing, I am going to, and I will give you deeper instructions about this, but I'm going to provide you with a couple of options to approach discussion. One is the way you've been doing it, which you can write everything out. You can write out your answers to these questions and then respond to a couple of other people. The dilemma with that for me is that it's kind of rushed and kind of disingenuous. So I would like to propose a different methodology. I'm going to provide everybody with a list of all of the students' emails that are Forte's emails within the course once I get the class list. And what I would like you to do is, if you intend to write out the discussion, pick 1 or 2 colleagues from that list and notify them that you'd like to interact with them in a discussion, and then kind of compose this as either a duo or as a triad, so that you're actually going to engage each other, ask each other questions, or pose answers to each other. And in that way, you have a more authentic discussion. I'll give you, again, more details about this coming up. The second option that I would propose is, if you would prefer to do these discussions as a Zoom discussion, again, pick 1 or 2 colleagues from the course who are like-minded and would like to join you, and you all 3 or 2 or however many it turns out to be, engage in a discussion. Unlike last semester, I'm not going to give you here is your discussion group, and this is the question you must do via Zoom. I'm going to let you decide how you would like to better approach discussions and make them a little more genuine. I think you all have a lot to share with each other, and while the discussion questions are good guiding questions, you can add much more to them. And so I would like you all to be pondering, how would you like to approach discussions for modules 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7, and how would that best work for you? You don't have to do them all the same, by the way. You could do a couple via Zoom, you could do a couple via writing. So just decide how it best works for you. And I will, again, give you much more information about this as we go along. The other piece is that you will notice that some of the assignments are a little bit complicated and lengthy and are really based upon actual instructional planning. So make sure that you've given yourself adequate time to tackle these particular pieces, and make sure that you are you're giving ample planning for your whole semester. Kind of look through everything, kind of see where the pinch points are as far as your spring semester goes, etc. The other thing to keep in mind is we're in an ever-changing world, and we never know what's going to come about in the spring. Last spring we were surprised suddenly by spring break, and then suddenly no students came back to school. And that was certainly not anything we looked for or planned for. So there could be changes, and as those do happen, we will certainly modify things if we need to. So again, keep looking through this once you are able to get a hold of the course, and kind of take a look through it and see what you think. If you have questions at any time, make sure that you do contact me. My instructor information again is here. Here is my email, and then here is my work phone is actually out of the country because I do live in Mexico. And so if you do need to contact me, if you have WhatsApp, you can do it that way. Otherwise, email works great, and I keep way on top of that, making sure I get back to you in a timely way. So hopefully that kind of gives you a picture of the second semester. I hope you guys have a great start to the spring and that things begin to clear up and we begin to see a return to normal school as we would like to think of it. Anyway, take care, and I will be in touch with you at the beginning of every module, and you will receive announcements a minimum of once a week. Thanks.